everybody. So the next little yoga flow that I want to bring you today is focusing on upper body and core. It's quite nice sometimes to just pick a couple of areas and just really focus on them for a few minutes. It's also just a nice video that you could maybe use alongside other stuff, and shouldn't take too long, so you can just couple it with other things as well, like leg day or something. So yeah, really focusing just on upper body and core today. I promise you there's no crunches, which you'll probably be pleased to know. So we're just going to jump straight in. If you are feeling particularly stiff, if you've been sat down all day, then maybe just take a couple of minutes before this just to like really warm the body up, because we are just going to jump straight in today. So listen to your body, have a little warm up, just a few stretches beforehand if you feel like you need to. And if not, just grab a mat or a towel or whatever it is that you've got at home. You don't need any props or anything today. And we're just going to come to start in our all fours position. So having wrists stacked under shoulders, knees under hips in your tabletop position. And just sucking that belly button in, just creating that lovely, nice neutral spine there. And we're going to run through a few rounds of cat-cow just to have a little bit of a warm-up. So to start with, we're going to drop our belly towards the mat, roll your shoulders open and just look up at the ceiling. Just get that lovely arch in the spine. And then we're just going to reverse the move, so tucking the pelvis under, pushing through the palms of the hand, really doming the upper back. So really pushing through those palms to get that lovely stretch in between your shoulder blades. And then dropping the belly towards the mat, rolling those shoulders open into your cat position. So just 4 more rounds here. So pushing up into your cow, really pushing into the palm of those hands, dropping your belly. So just 1 more each way, tucking the pelvis, pushing the palms, really pushing through those shoulders. Should be able to feel the stretch increase just a little bit more each time, dropping the belly, roll the shoulders, just looking up at the ceiling. Get that lovely arch in your spine. And then just tucking the tailbone and just coming into that neutral position again. So this time really get that core engagement, so sucking the belly button in, sort of in and upwards. And then we're just going to tuck the toes and we're just going to hover the knees off the mat. So your quads should feel it a little bit here as well, but really suck that belly button in. And then we're just going to go for 8 shoulder taps. So take your right hand and take it to your left shoulder, place it back down, left hand to right shoulder. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And just hold there for a moment and then push the bum up towards the ceiling, coming into your downward facing dog. So feet, hands should be about shoulder width apart. Just have a little bit of a pedal out here. And then just come high onto the toes and then just ripple forward into your plank position. Now from here you've got a couple of options depending on how you're feeling, where you are with your workouts. So we're going to go for 3 push-ups, or they're called chaturangas, but you've got 2 options here. So slightly regressed option is come down to your knees, and we're going to do 3 chaturangas or regressed ones. Or if you're feeling like you want it a bit more spicy, a little bit more juicy, then into your full plank, just a slight bend in the elbows, wrapping them around, and we're coming down, so elbows are at 90 degrees, and we're pushing back up. And we're going to go for 3 of these, so 2, and 3, and then on the last one, hover down, untuck the toes, and then just pull that chest forward, opening up the shoulders into your upward facing dog. If you're coming from a kneeling position, so your last one would be coming down, come down to the belly, pull the elbows in by your side, pull the chest forward into your low cobra, tuck the toes and push into downward facing dog. So we're going to be doing a few of those throughout the practice. So please do just listen to your body throughout, and you've got a couple of options there. So down onto your knees, chest towards the floor, or full kind of push-up position. So meeting back together in downward facing dog. We're going to take our right foot up towards the ceiling, come high onto the left toes, bring the knee towards the nose, place it in between the hands. If you need to give your foot a little helping hand, that's absolutely fine. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes, keep the left hand on the mat and take your right hand up towards the ceiling for a twist. Just a couple of breaths here, just feeling that lovely stretch in your upper body, in your arms. Again, just building that integrity in the shoulders and the arms there. Then tuck the back toes and lift the knee. And then we're going to be stepping back into a side plank. So you can either take a staged approach and take little hops into your side plank, or if you feel like you've got it in your practice, push through the palm of the hand on the left and just take that foot to meet the other one and come into your plank. So we're going to spend maybe 3 breaths here. I know the muscles will be shaking, but that's just building strength and integrity, so just embrace it. Lovely, and then take that right hand, place it down onto the mat. And we're going back in for our push-ups again, so choose your option, down onto your knees or full. And we're going to go for 1, for 2, for 3, and then stay low, untuck the toes. And coming into your upward facing dog, or if you've gone for the regress one, you'll be in your baby cobra, and then push your way into your downward facing dog. And then we'll get ready to do it on the other side. Have a little paddle out here, catch your breath if you need to. And then left leg up towards the ceiling, come high on the right toes, bring the knee towards the nose, place it in between your hands, drop that back knee, keep the right hand on the mat and your left hand up towards the ceiling for your twist. Again, building integrity in the shoulders, but also just getting a lovely stretch in the upper body. And then again, thinking about taking ourselves back into our plank position. It can be a staged approach, so just shimmying the foot back, tuck the back toes, and then just send that foot back into your side plank there. A few nice big deep breaths here. And then placing the hand down, coming back into your plank position. So from here, if you can, just staying in full plank. So come down onto your knees if you need to. Please do listen to your body. Otherwise, full plank or kneeling. And we're going to do shoulder taps again, so 10 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lovely, so keep where you are. Keep that belly button sucked in and up, so that core engagement. And we're going to come down onto our forearms. So 1, and then onto the other. And then push back up 1, back onto the other. Again, this can be done on your knees as well. You'll still get that core firing up. So wherever you are, we're just going to do some moving planks. So we're going to go for 8 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With moving plank, make sure you're not swaying too much. You really want to build that integrity in the core and that strength. And then just drop down to the knees. Take the chest and chin in between the hands. And just bring your hands forward so that your elbows are under your shoulders. And take a couple of breaths here as we come into our Sphinx pose. And just to have a little rest. And this is quite a nice core exercise as well. So without moving, if you think about pulling your elbows back towards your hips, but without actually moving them, and just really finding some length and openness in the chest there, then it really does work the front line of the body. So just having a nice little stretch there. And then just tucking the toes, pushing back into child's pose very, very briefly. And then just finding your way back into your downward facing dog. And again, just having a bit of a pedal out here. And then rolling high onto the toes again, coming forward into your high plank. And choosing your option again, so down onto the knees, or feel free to mix it up in between the two. You can do one set on the knees and one set on the full plank. It's completely up to you. And then sit back into a plank, and we're going to go for 3. So for 3, for 1, for 2, for 3, and then pushing back up. And then we're just going to come down into our upward facing dog. So tucking the feet there, keeping those thighs and bum off the mat. And then push back into your downward facing dog. Having a little bit of a pedal out here. Then take the right foot up towards the ceiling there. Again, just have a lovely stretch in the back of the leg. Come high onto the toes, and then bring the right knee towards the right elbow. Have a little hover and touch, and then send it back. So knee towards left elbow. Send it back. Knee towards nose. Hover there. Send it back. So just 3 more. Knee towards right elbow. See if you can touch the elbow there. Send it back. Knee towards left elbow. Give it a little tap. Send it back. Knee towards nose. Send your foot back into your 3-legged plank. And then just come down into your upward facing dog. Squeezing those shoulders, squeezing that bum. Pushing back into your downward facing dog. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Have a little pedal out here first. And then left leg up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to take that right knee to the left knee to the left elbow. Send it back. Left knee to right elbow, give it a tap. Send it back. Left knee towards nose. Back into your 3-legged dog. Knee towards elbow, give it a tap. Knee towards right elbow, give it a tap. Last little one. Knee towards nose. Send it back into your 3-legged plank and hover down, coming into your upward facing dog. And then pushing back into downward facing dog. And just having a little pedal out here. Just stretching out these hamstrings. Just catching your breath a little bit. And then just slowly dropping down to your knees. So knees as wide as the mat. Big toes to touch. And just drop back into your child's pose. And just take a few breaths there. Get your sweaty hair out of your face. And just take a few deep breaths. Nice big deep breath in, so ballooning the belly in between the thighs. Nice long breath out. And then just maybe have a little roll of the shoulders. And feel free to just stay there for a few minutes. Just catch your breath or any other last little bits that you want to do. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, just really focusing on upper body and core, and please do just listen to your body. Listen to what it needs and don't push yourself too far. This is the kind of video that you can do time and time again, and you will notice those improvements as you get that little bit stronger each time. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it guys, and see you soon.